Is the left actually destroying itself? He's a random YouTube commentator, right about all of American history and democracy itself. Do I have the shred of irony while saying all this? Let's talk about that.
I want to talk with you about a number of subjects that directly affect the future of the United States.
Howdy folks, welcome to the Fireside Chat. Now I apologize for my tone of voice today. See, I've been yelling a whole lot and, well, throat ain't what it used to be. As always, my name is Devin Moore. My friends just call me Moore, and as you can tell by the thumbnail of this video, I have a particular pet peeve when it comes to certain leftist commentators on this website. Now, normally I wouldn't put out 2 videos in a week. I'm trying to make sure I have quality over quantity, and it's really hard to keep up with the news stories in today's media environment. I'm doing the best I can, but I work for a damn living, so it's hella difficult. See, this personal grudge that I have is to most left-wing commentators, specifically those on YouTube or Twitch, right? Your big names, Hassan Piker, Ethan Klein, all that. Now, personally, I don't listen to them too often because I disagree with some of their viewpoints and I don't need convincing on some of these issues. However, one particular commentator has struck a chord with me, and it's probably ticking me off a bit because I agree with her, but I feel like she's still missing the point. You see, last week, popular commentator Shoe0nHead made a video addressing the feedback of her election day coverage. I'll summarize her clips, but I highly encourage anybody watching this video to actually go take a look at her and have the full context of everything. You see, her latest video was to comment about criticism she received from the other video, of which I also provided some criticisms. Now, I know obviously she was never going to cover me. I'm a very small fish in a fairly large sea. However, I'm going to readdress the criticism I had in my first ever Fireside Chats episode. And it's namely, again, I made this joke last time, so I'm going to make it just one more time to reiterate the point.
Hey, I'm doing it, folks. I'm over here. I'm touching grass. There it is. The grass has been touched. We're getting all over it. There it is. There's the grass. Oh my gosh. The grass. Look at that. The real world. It's amazing. We love the real world. Okay, the joke's lived long enough.
Miss Shoe0nHead, can I call you Shoe? I'm going to call her Shoe for now. The people you addressed in that video, the criticisms you received, yes, you are completely right. They suck. Frankly, all these people, they're kind of jerks. That's one of the reasons I wanted to get into content creation to begin with, is because the left-wing folks seem to be addressing these problems all wrong and speaking to an audience that they are trying to monetize, and I hate that. I really do. They ain't always speaking the truth. They are too disconnected from the reality of many situations to properly address facts on the ground. However, and I'm going to reiterate this a bunch, none of these people matter. They don't exist in the real world. It's why I keep touching grass. It's why I reiterate to all of you, go touch grass. Talk to actual people. The internet is not the end-all be-all of policymakers. It is an echo chamber. Always has been and always will be. We need to address those facts. These people, nobody knows who the hell they are. They don't matter. They are not the Democratic Party. They are not policymakers. Hell, they barely push the freaking envelope. Hassan Piker is the biggest content creator on the left. Hassan Piker is not a Democrat. Hassan Piker has not been endorsed by the Democrats, nor rarely talked to by the Democrats or acknowledged thereof. They don't matter when it comes to actual policy and facts. And what ticks me off the most is I'm sure Shoe0nHead and I agree on many things when it comes to policies. In fact, the more and more I listen to her, begrudgingly, the more and more I am forced to agree, like, gosh darn, I agree with almost everything she says, except for the one thing. You are missing the point. It doesn't matter what the left does or says. The right-wing populace, the right-wing media narrative is gone completely off track. They will paint everybody, and I cannot believe I'm making this joke again, as a gay socialist space unicorn for the sheer fact of it fits their narrative. They would rather you believe that no Democrats exist and zombies vote for Joe Biden than any factual things. They don't care what the left says. These guys could be the absolute most pro-communist sons of guns, literally the reincarnation of Lenin and Stalin. It wouldn't matter to these right-wing commentators because they are going to paint them all the same way. Now, are these guys jerks for what they said? Yes, absolutely. Many of these left-wing commentators made comments basically criticizing the unfortunate gentleman who died at Donald Trump's failed assassination attempt. They were saying, well, you know, he's at a Trump rally. How good of a guy could he really have been, right? That's unacceptable. Now, I probably would have disagreed with this individual wholeheartedly for his politics. I would have completely agreed that a lot of the things he supported are a direct threat to democracy, to myself, and the safety of my loved ones. But he did not deserve to die. He was a father. He was a man Nobody here deserves to die, and we should not spread hate of our fellow Americans. And I know it's really easy for the left right now, myself included, to get angry about certain things. But we cannot study and listen to how propaganda affects people and not properly address the source of that propaganda. The only reason these left-wing narratives matter is because the right keeps pushing them down everybody's throat, regardless of what the politician said. Joe Biden was an old as hell white guy who specifically said he was not for defund the police. It did not matter. Because whatever some crazy person on Twitter says, the right will take that as a cherry-picked image and say, congratulations, this is the left. Because I'll tell you right now, having spoken to many of my conservative colleagues, family members, and coworkers, and friends, they don't know who Ethan Klein is. They barely know who Hassan Piker is. I guarantee most of them don't. They don't know who Vosh is or any of these other people. Hell, they don't even know who you are most of the time. But they know Charlie Kirk. They know Ben Shapiro. They know Tucker Carlson. They know Steven Crowder. They know all of these names because those are the people they're listening to. And these people are not out there debating, having good conversations. No, they are out there for 60-second TikTok clips. And that's, unfortunately, Ms. Shoe0nHead, what you have gotten wrong. You have failed to address that fact. It does not matter what the left says. They can be the most irrational sons of bitches you want, because if one single person exists that can fit their little stereotype straw man, congratulations, that's all of the left. We saw this during 2020. They don't want to acknowledge we exist. You can see it right now with the backlash that Canada is going through about Trump's tariffs, how this has unified Canadian patriotism. You see many Republicans completely ignoring that fact. I was commented on earlier, right? Oh, the Canadians are so upset, all 300 of them. Because the only thing the right can do is isolate them from any actual criticism from their policies or decision making. It's all noise. It is purely BS, waving at issues that don't exist, making cherry-picked evidence and facts, and then taking a bunch of money to give to the rich. And we saw this during Trump's first term, and I'm about to go on a damn ramble and readdress the point here now. Whatever the left does, you can criticize. I highly encourage it. Bring it up, point to it, but do not let the conservative party, let the conservative media commentators, and I'm not talking about individuals, I'm purely talking about the media commentators, steal the plot, because that is what they have done. The last episode I released specifically addressed this. They don't care about anything else than money, power, and fame. You see many of these conservative commentators, Candace Owens included, started as somewhat left-wing agitators. Candace Owens was specifically trying to get into left-wing media. Couldn't make it. Tried to pass off a little thing that the left was like, hey, that's a bad idea. And she felt bullied. Tim Pool was a Wall Street protester before suddenly he's spewing Russian propaganda. Because when they get money involved, suddenly morals go out the window. And I hate to golly that I definitely agree with Ms. Shoe0nHead. And you know what? Probably my little bias is kicking in about e-girls or whatnot. And maybe that's why I just don't like her. Well, that ain't nothing personal. Just don't like e-girls. That's my big thing. But we can't let the right-wing narrative and propaganda steal the plot, because that is what's happening. Not a single conservative knows these people. They don't matter. Go touch grass. Well, folks, I appreciate you listening to that little ramble. I'm going to go ahead and give a little closing remarks here, and I really do appreciate all the support I've received. I've gotten a lot of really great feedback. Frankly, I ain't used to that much positive affirmation, so thank you all very much for that. I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers. I did not expect to get even 20 people to listen to me except my closest friends, and even then I got to bug them a little bit. So thank y'all very kindly. I won't be pushing content like this very often. I want to be very clear. The point of this channel is not to talk about YouTuber drama. It is counterproductive to what's actually happening, right? On the left right now, you see Ethan Klein is yelling with Hassan Piker. And again, I don't know what the hell is going on with that because it doesn't matter. I don't care about it. I care about the truth, about factuality. And the only reason I'm addressing Ms. Shoe0nHead here is, yes, a little bit of clickbaitiness, all right? I definitely want to reach a larger audience and help talk to more folks. But at the same time is this narrative that she's pushing that the left is destroying itself with its craziness and the political commentators, it's irrelevant. because that's not what the right is seeing. They're going to see whatever the media shows them. And that's what needs to be addressed. That was the point of my last video upload here. It was the point of episode 2 of the Fireside Chats. And while I'm trying not to repeat myself very often here, I feel like there might be a better way to do it. So hence I'm going to put out the effort there as best as possible. I look forward to the eventual reply that I'll receive for this and perhaps the criticism thereof. Please criticize me as much as you wish. I would love to respond to that criticism. But until then, folks, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, because we're all in this together. And watch this space.